Section 1. A land of geographic contrast. Africa is the second largest continent in the world. It occupies about 1/5 of Earth's land surface. It has a challenging environment. Deserts are unsuitable for human life, and another partly uninhabitable African environment is the rainforest. Deserts, Sahara in the north and the Kalahari in the south. It consists of sand dunes, gray wasteland of scattered roots and gravel. The savannas are grassy plains including the mountains and a tropical swampy stretches. The savannas support abundant agricultural production. Early humans adapt to their environment. Nomadic lifestyle. Africa's earliest people were nomadic hunter-gatherers. The men hunt with spears and bows and arrows, and the women and children gather roots and berries. They eventually learned to domesticate and raise a variety of animals for food, transitioned to a settled lifestyle. Agriculture in Africa began by 6000 BC. Agriculture changed the way Africans lived. They were able to build permanent shelters and settlements expanded. Early societies in Africa. Local religions. They developed belief systems that helped them understand and organize information about the world, involved a creator or god, also included elements of animism. Everything was a spirit. Animals, plants, and natural forces. Keeping a history. Griots shared orally the history and literature of the culture. This way, they kept their history alive. West African Iron Age. Pottery, charcoal, and slag are the artifacts scientists used to piece together life in Africa in early 500 BC. The Nok culture. West Africa's earliest known as the culture was the Nok. They lived in Nigeria. They were the first West African people known to melt iron, used for tools for farming and weapon for hunting.
Section 2 is about migration. Migration is known as a move from one country to another. That go into societies wanting to move from place to place. These factors are called push and pull factors. It states that these factors either push a society away from the area or pull the Experts trace patterns of movement is by studying the spread of languages. For example, Bantu language spread across Africa and is believed to be caused by migration.
Of action, studying migrations in Africa and East Coast. When the Arabs descended from the Red Sea, there was intermarriage with Cushite herders and farmers. They passed on their written language called the Ge'ez. Also skilled working stones and building dams in Africa. This blended group of Africans and Arabs would form the basis of a new and powerful trading kingdom. The rise of the kingdom first began when they conquered Kush. Then the southeast Kush was a rock plateau on the Red Sea, which now is Eritrea and Ethiopia. Now it could be called the Horn of Africa, and Arab traders from the Red Sea established trading settlements. They sought to trade ivory in Persia and farther east in the Indian Ocean trade. They brought silks, textiles, and spices. Eventually, their trading settlements became colonies of farmers and traders. The origin of the Aksum Empire was the legend traces that it came all the way from the Son of Kingdom to the Queen of Sheba. The international trade became the location and expansion made it a hub for caravan routes for Egypt and Morocco. The access to sea trade on the Mediterranean Sea and Indian Ocean helped Aksum become an international trading hub. Enclosed was Egypt, Arabia, Persia, India, and Roman Empire. It all crowded Egypt's seaport. Aksumites traded salt and luxury. Enclosed were rhinoceros horns, tortoise shells, ivory, emeralds, and gold. In exchange, they got cloth, glass, olive oil, wine, brass, iron, and copper. Their strong ruler expansion. Their height grew when they were ruled by Asana, Aksum's son, was between 325 AD and 360 AD. They conquered part of the Arabian Peninsula and then Kush. They burned down Meroe to the ground. Their international culture brought diverse cultural heritage and the tradition of the Arab people who crossed the Red Sea into Africa and Kushite people. As it expanded, it brought to the world attention. The Aksum's trading partners were Egypt, Arabia, Greece, Rome, Persia, India, and even Byzantium. Their first religion was by the god Machrin. They thought the king was directly descended from him. But there were also animists who they believed in the spirits of nature and they honored their dead ancestors. Their second religion, when it became popular, Christianity. Isana was destined to rule after his father, King Axum, but he was too young when he died, so his mother took charge. He was raised by a captured Syrian Christian and he educated him. He became a Christian, then when he became a ruler, he named Christianity the nation's official religion. Axum was one of the few with written language, and he was one of the few who minted in his own coins, which were reminders that he cared for his people. He brought a new method of agriculture, which was terrace farming. It brought the productivity in land increase. It helped the soil retain water and prevented its being washed downhill in heavy rain. Well, the fall of Axum was brought by Islamic invaders who conquered and spread religion through the Mediterranean. Since Axum had protected one of its leaders, they initially did not invade Africa, but then they destroyed a duelist, and then the kingdom declined as an international trading power. Then Axum became isolated. As invasions spread Islam to the lands they conquered, Axum became isolated from other Christian settlements. Axum's new geographic isolation, along with depletion of the forest and soil erosion, it led to its decline as a world power. Well, although it had reached tremendous heights, it never actually expanded outside a fairly small area. So that was the decline of its
There are different factors that go into society.
In Africa began by 6000 BC. Agriculture changed the way Africans lived. They were able to build permanent shelters and settlements, understand and organize information about the world, involve the creator or God, also included elements of animism. Everything has a spirit, animal, plants, and natural forces.